In this week's episode of Behind the Bill, we're talking about F&B. So, Peter, have you heard the saying, if you don't like your friend, suggest to him to open up an F&B business?
Oh, sure close down.
I mean, what's the worst side to closing down is going on and suffering all the way through.
And sometimes the amount of money lost, right? Wow, you can like you read the news, right? It can really go up all the way to like hundreds of thousands. It's mad.
So, what do you think are the major problems that these companies face, and then why do they end up closing down?
I think first of all, the biggest problem would be rental. I think nowadays, even for landlords, it's about revenue. So the higher they push, it means that the more the F&B owners, right, have to up their price. But the more they up the price, it is going to have a relative impact on the consumers itself. So imagine going for a cheesecake that is $7-8. I will also think twice lah. Then after that, the more people end up not going to the F&B outlets, it's just a constant cycle all the way.
So we have a problem on our hands right now. We realize a lot of businesses don't have enough people coming in. So I think on the broader sense, it's more of an economy kind of thing. We got lesser buying power. And I think generally you get a feel, if you go out on the street or during dinner time, you will see a lot less patrons than there were before, right?
I mean, after with this current recession, everything going on, everybody is trying to save money. Even don't talk about consumer products. Just talk about opening up a business, even whether is it locally or international, or even renovation itself. Everybody are thinking twice about it.
So there's the statistics. In 2024 itself, there were 3,000 closures of F&B. And on the other side, there were new openings as well. Can you guess how many?
4,000.
Close. It's 3,793. What do you think these people are going in for self-torture?
I don't think it will be a self-torture.
Or is it they're very supportive friends? Hey, go and open.
I mean, you have a lot of influencers or even local artists. They are all opening up bakeries, but definitely everybody is trying to not have a brick and mortar store. A lot of them nowadays are opening up small businesses at home. That anything just do delivery, or even nowadays you at those HDB first story, right? They just open up their window. Then after that, they start selling coffee and things like that.
It's quite popular, the hole in the wall concept.
Yes, because first of all, you lower you don't even have rental costs other than paying for
your staying
your HDB itself. And then because for operating within HDB itself, it's still counted as a small scale. So you don't need all your SFA permits and stuff like that. So there's less.
You need. Yeah. So during COVID, or in fact after COVID, actually I did a few of these home-based businesses, right? They have such a huge traction, they all decided to move on to a physical brick and mortar shop. And they're doing very well now. Multiple expansions, growing. But of course, there are some that didn't make it. But, it kind of depends on the concept as well.
Correct.
But
And depending on the food they are selling, how unique is it? What's your unique selling point? And most importantly, I think is how affordable and convenient it is. Because if you have it at HDB first story, right? In the morning, everybody is just rushing to work. Just quickly grab a coffee, grab a small bite, a sandwich or what. Okay, they head off. So by doing this, right, you don't earn in terms of huge. No, you don't earn in terms of your a bigger profit margin, but you do a lot of quick quantity. Yeah. So I think that's one thing of hitting the right market within their own estate itself.
Have you heard of this one, the weekend pizza at
No.
the Juchet?
I may actually have eaten it before, but I don't know the brand of it. Is it the one that they are still using the traditional
Oven.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like the brick oven they put in the backyard, right? And then they take orders throughout the week. So you choose your collection time during the weekends.
Okay, I had it. I had it at my friend's place. We ordered in. It's
It's
good.
good, right? It's good, right? So pizza, there are two types. They have all the traditional Italian flavors, and then they have the commercialized ones like the Hawaiian, chicken lovers and all that.
Yeah.
It's all very big difference. So I think the local market we prefer more of the generic types lah. Yeah, Italian one takes a bit more of it's whether you like it or not, whether your taste is refined enough to enjoy. Yeah, but I think the weekend pizza is a very good concept because to them, I think it started out as a hobby. And then they spend a lot of effort trying to refine the pizza, the flavors, the consumer experience, rather than maybe a restaurant where we have to chase revenues and then we have to cut costs on certain areas just to keep afloat. Yeah, so that's why I like these kinds of home-based pop-ups.
Okay, then if it's in your shoes, if you have a choice, what is one thing you would like to sell?
I love burgers, man. Like I don't mind flipping burgers and doing it out of my house. There are problems, right? The business problem to it is the buns cannot be touching a sauce. If not, they get soggy. And then it has to be consumed preferably within 10 to 15 minutes. So that means people need to dine there. So taking away maybe not a good option. Yeah, but burgers. I'm very good at making burgers, man.
Are we looking at our like classic cheeseburgers or are we looking at like fish burger, chicken burger?
Oh yeah, the classic beefs. Yeah. So beef, there are like different cuts, right? You have the Angus types, then you have nobody usually eat Wagyu lah. The Angus ones are good enough already. And then whether the patty has enough fat or not, and then how thick you actually press the meat into will make or break your burger. Yeah. And then the condiments that you add on, are there any special sauces that you can come up with? But generally, I like very plain meat on bun, maybe put some lettuces. But my favorite would be caramelizing onions. Oh, you drizzle it over the cheese, then if you can add an egg in it, that's it, man.
I mean, if I were to have a burger or the cheeseburger, I wouldn't want any vegetables or tomatoes inside. I would just want a very classic, simple double patty, cheese, and then just a bun. That's it. I mean, if I'm already going to indulge in sort of the unhealthy eating, might as well just enjoy a good one.
It's not healthy. Okay, like the buns, right? Specifically, I'll pick the brioche buns. I'll halve it, then we'll butter the both sides. Then we'll either air fry or pan fry. So that thing comes together like, it's crispy bun, yet it's soft on the inside. And it's just the different textures. And it has to be flat enough for someone to bite lah. If it's like, the fat boys, they used to have the the double bastard, is it? Or fat bastard. Yeah. Then it definitely can't go in the mouth. Then you end up chopping it and then you kind of lose the experience there.
I used to always eat Aston's. They have this one called the I Super Burger or something. So it's this whole entire stack.
Oh man.
Yes, you have your lettuces, your tomato, your beef patty, and then they have one entire chunk of deep fried onion, deep fried carrot, onion itself. Wow, that one, right? You really have to dissect them. There's no way you can eat it.
Yeah, then you lose the experience, right, of having a burger that is something you can hold and it's bite size.
I mean, if you're sitting at the restaurant and when they bring the burger out, all the heads will turn. Because it's not something that a lot of people will order. Yeah.
So do they have a food challenge also?
No.
It sounds like a restaurant that will do like 1 hour eat 8 kilos of burgers.
Nah. Would you go for all these challenges though?
I would say in the past I could eat a lot. I could eat double portions of almost anything. But now no lah. Look at me. You look at all the previous podcast episodes compared to now, I already lost a lot of weight. So there's no way I can stomach that anymore.
But in this case, because I mean, all these food challenges, right? Yeah, you finish it within a certain time frame. Would that actually be enjoying the food itself, or are you just eating to challenge yourself and get it for free?
I think a lot of times it's having your name and your picture put out on the wall.
It's just for own self show.
Imagine your picture is there, then
The Hall of Fame.
you bring someone on a date and you're like, hey, do you notice something weird about that on the wall? And you're like, yeah, I'm a Hall of Famer here.
Nah, I would still prefer to enjoy my meal.
It's a score brownie points. Okay, so when we talk about F&B, in first principle, we always think about bringing together a group of ingredients to create a product itself, right? And then as a business owner, how much am I going to sell this product? So this X amount of dollars is where we, the designer and the builder, come in to create it, to add value to this X dollars. So in terms of the experience, the design of the place, the aesthetics. So how do you think we can help clients improve or even increase these X dollars?
I think first of all, when clients create the brand, what is the brand identity itself? Whether do they already have a brand identity, or do they require us designers, right, to come up with the identity itself? So the identity is the one that is driving the whole entire business, inclusive of the renovation itself. How you want to brand your business, right, would determine whether, first of all, what's your target audience. Would you want to aim towards something that is very quick and just do quantity itself, even just like just now mentioned, just a simple coffee, egg sandwich, done? Or would you want to go towards something that is more luxurious? Then after you have a certain identity already, that's when you incorporate the identity itself into, first of all your packaging, all your collaterals, and then that will also affect your interior renovation. How fast you want people to come and leave your restaurant. If it's like, say, for example, all those fast food chains, all the sittings are meant to be close together and uncomfortable, so that after you eat within 15-20 minutes, right,
faster
and then
turnover,
you just
right?
leave, so they have a faster turnover. But comparing to restaurants where you have, let's say, fine dining, majority of the sittings are all spread across, so that you individually, each table itself will have their own privacy. Or even for, say, tapas concept, it's a lot of sharing meals, so that you see majority they are all in a longer sitting form for people to have a drink, then just share a meal together. So all this all comes from what the brand identity that the client wants to push for. Then for us designers, right, we will create a brand identity and package your ingredient, package the whole product itself, right, to what is deemed valuable, and also help them earn more profit margin.
So talking about the type of clients, right, that don't have an identity and they want us to create it for them. Okay. So generally we always come across two types, right? One of them would be, hey, I want this concept. I already have an idea how much I want to spend and how much more I can spend outside of how much I want to spend. Right. And then you have clients who, hey, I only have this amount. Can you come up with the whole concept for me? So which is more expensive?
Definitely, I would say letting us provide the service of creating an identity for you, because first of all, it takes more time and effort, and then more brain power, more research itself.
Yeah, we need to walk around and then we need to go to different F&B owners and ask them how do we provide this experience and study also. And spend money there to study, right?
Yeah, so we do a lot of case studies, site analysis, all this, right? Last time in Polytechnic, when I was still studying, right, we would just go to different cafes and just to experience the whole environment there.
Wait, so it's like that. when we are fresh, when we go to experience, we just sit there, we order something, then we look around.
Yes.
That's not the right way to experience, right?
Very obvious one.
That's not the right way to look around. But that's not the right way to experience. Is to just pretend you're a casual diner and then like what you like or don't like about the place, right?
Yeah. It's a lot more actually about the feeling, the emotion. What kind of emotion do you as a business owner want to portray to your consumer? If you want it to be like same thing, a fast food chain, yeah, you see everything is all very bright, not very homey feel.
Yeah, very
Just,
loud.
yeah, very
fast-paced
loud,
music.
correct. Yeah, but you see, like for example, even Starbucks. Starbucks is meant for you to just sit down there, chill, have a chat. That's why nowadays you see all the Starbucks outlets, right? Yeah, they all have very, very nice lighting. And even though it's generally coffee that you can sort of make yourself, right? But it's the whole ambience, the setting, and sitting with your friends to just chit chat and drink, right? Yeah, they are able to bring the whole profit margin to much higher.
Do you realize when Starbucks is packed, it's so noisy. It's
Yes.
so noisy that even your adjacent tables cannot even hear your conversation. Right? So what do you think of strategies like that?
Strategies.
Like you don't even have to create like booths. You know, naturally you have a sound barrier at every table. I think it's a very smart design.
But then again, you see in this case, right, if they were to fully barricade different tables together, right, yeah, what if everybody end up sitting down there for 2-3 hours? Wow, they are not going to make any money or profit from them. So even though it's meant for people to just chill, right, yeah, but the estimated time, right, is probably, I would say, maybe 1 hour. Then after that, you should be moving already. So sometimes having noise, it's also an intended factor that the business owner want to portray, because
It's like join the queue.
yeah,
But what am I queuing for?
correct. Like one thing I think I always talk about JB Custom, the Woodlands one, right? No, sorry, not Woodlands.
CIQ.
Yes, is it?
Yeah, CIQ.
CIQ, the Malaysia side.
Yeah.
The roti boy.
Oh, my.
I always think like it's a very smart strategic location. And the play of smell, right, is very, very smart. Because every time after we go JB, if you want to take bus across to Woodlands, right, we always smell. No matter what, you have to walk past that location. So at night you smell already, right? Especially at night, right? They will always give those promotion, like maybe say 5 for a certain amount of money. People will just buy it because first of all, right, you let the smell, right, be the selling point. So that is also one consideration for business owners, right? Yeah. It may not just be about the ambience. If you're selling something fast product, right? I think the roti boy outlet strategically placed there, right? Yeah. I think it's one of the smartest thing.
That's like playing with your environment.
Yeah.
Similar to Famous Amos, right?
Yes.
Wow, they really blast the smell everywhere. So people are like getting hot, getting cold. Oh, it's this shop. Yeah, you know, we used to eat that thing a lot.
It may not even need to be F&B specifically itself. Like you see A&F at Orchard in the past. Even at night, right, when the outlet is closed, right, the smell lingers. Yeah. So I think for F&B owners, that's smell is also something that we can play.
I saw one strategy, Uncle, very well played, by the way. This guy, Old Airport Road, Char Kway Teow. Okay? Lunchtime, super packed. Long queue. So, you know, me being a Singaporean, hey, must be nice. Let's join the queue.
Join.
When I got into a viewing range of his shop, I realized this uncle cook one plate one serving at a time. So if you order 4, he will just cook one plate. Then throw in the noodles, cook again. Second plate, third plate, and so on. When it's my turn to order, I was probably already having hunger pangs already. I'm like, oh, gastric coming. Ordered 2 plates, me and my friend. Wow, I waited a solid about 8 minutes, even though it's my turn. And you would think it's damn good. But when we tried it, right, man, it's one of the blandest char kway teow I ever had in my life, man.
What you shit on?
Well played, uncle. Very good strategy, one plate at a time. Yeah.
I mean, it could be good lah, but just that maybe it's not to your standard of best char kway teow. But maybe to majority of the Singaporeans, I believe that's the reason why partially there's a queue in the first place lah.
I should go on and do a street interview after that.
Don't shit on him.
Okay. What do you think about like show kitchens? So we have like Din Tai Fung, we have Wok Hei. What do you think about these places? I mean, for me personally, whenever I can see the back of house preparing my food, I will have more trust in them. Right. But from an owner's standpoint, right? When we call in people to renovate these places, we need to keep the place clean, functional, and also make sure that we have enough space for equipment. So these kind of places, what kind of feeling does it give you?
I think most importantly is the sense of transparency. And also from a consumer point of view, right?
No one can spit in your food.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if not, right, they show you the whole process, right? From the flour making all the way until your soup dumpling. So that process, right, it's a process where you get to see how different ingredients, right from the very start, right, transform into the product that is right in front of you when you dine. So I think that whole experience, other than for cleanliness, for transparency, all this, right, is also having the journey with the restaurant and the consumer all the way until you dine. Yeah. So I think that's interesting, like especially when you are queuing for food at Din Tai Fung or this, right? They will specially make the queue towards the soup dumpling making.
Yeah.
So while you are waiting in line, right, you are sort of entertained.
And anticipating as well.
Yeah.
Right? So you cycle yourself, it's going to be damn good, right?
Yeah, and if let's say, because at least for me, when I go to Din Tai Fung, it's for the soup dumpling and for the fried rice. If let's say for any reason, right, the consumer initially decide to not have the soup dumpling and just wanted to go for the fried rice. But while they are queuing up, right, they look at the soup dumpling making.
Yeah. At first they didn't really want to order that. I'm like, okay, let's give it a try.
Correct. That's also a way to boost your sales for your unique selling point, which is the soup dumpling itself.
Yeah, it's mad. Because when we look at when we think of Din Tai Fung, we always think, very consistent food. And it always has been. I must give it to them. You should try the Michelin star one in Taiwan. Amazing.
Yeah.
Different level. Okay, then we talk about F&Bs that don't even need a chef. Okay, we talk about hot pot. We talk about barbecue. And we talk about pepper lunch. Very smart, right? No need to hire chef, right? So the customer is the chef. But that also means, at the owner standpoint, we need a lot of storage. Right? We need a lot of equipment. Right? So what are your thoughts on these kind of businesses?
Thoughts on in what sense?
As a designer standpoint, what's so different from the other F&Bs that we have to cater for these kind of businesses?
I think it depends, especially for hot pot or this kind of not so much about pepper lunch.
Yeah, mala store. They put up fridges and fridges and they line the whole place with condiments. What kind of different experience does that give a diner as compared to a traditional kitchen to service?
I think first of all, I would say if you reduce the size of the kitchen and you just have more storages, right? Yeah, first of all, you're able to cut down on your manpower. You just have to ensure that there's sufficient people to be able to stock up the shelves accordingly. Let's say for hot pot, this kind of places, right, where you sort of cook on your own, the experience would, I would say, come in more as a gathering space for friends, and by having people gather together to enjoy, like, it's like kind of like a concept of Chinese New Year steamboat. Everybody come together to cook their own food and eat. Tendency of people staying longer there because of the friends, right? Yeah, will be higher. And say for example, Hai Di Lao, all this, right? Every plate that you order, right, yeah, is a cost. I mean, it's an amount that you have to pay. But people are willing to pay because it's the whole environment of sharing. I mean, you don't talk about like all the buffet, that kind of things lah. But from a business point of view, I would say you earn more for, I guess, the ingredients that people order.
We talk about the chuan chuan, the skewer meat. People look at it, hey, $1, very cheap, right? Then I ask you, then you go to Chom Chom, you go and look at the satay store, one stick 90 cents. Expensive. Expensive.
Nowadays, satay price
There's a
lot.
psychological part to it as well, right? Yeah. So doing it yourself, usually people would spend more.
Yeah.
They'll be like, it's for the experience again.
Right. Okay, yeah. So I mean, you do have people making use of the freebies, but the percentage of people actually making use of the freebies, right, yeah, to people really coming in and and enjoying the experience, right, yeah, is a lot more. And because one thing also good is, for what I know, the business actually takes care of the employees. So if the employees are happy, right, naturally it will be portrayed to the consumers. I mean, with all the flying noodles and stuff like that, and the way the staff services the consumers, right, it's the whole entire experience. Even though the products that they are selling, right, are could potentially just be from the very same supplier with the rest of the other hotpot, but the whole experience is the unique selling point of Hai Di Lao. So it may not necessarily always be about the Din Tai Fung glass screen with show kitchen, or even like Roti Boy's the smell. It can really just be consumer experience. That could that potentially was what the driving force or the success of Hai Di Lao was.
How I look at it is, I think it's a very smart way to manage capacity, because when you look at it, in a way they overbook and they have relatively long dining times. So if they make people wait, you make them hungry. So the moment they come in and order more, and you gobble it up. Once they're full, they will leave, and then comes the next hungry diner. So in a way, they can serve many seatings just for dinner itself. And there are people who come in even after hours.
Yeah.
So it's a very smart way to create this overbooking system. And we talk about F&B, when we only serve people during meal times, right? We tend to lose out, right? They say the quiet F&B hours is between 3 to 5:30 p.m. Right? What each individual business owner they can work on their concept to fill up these hours as well, more creatively. Like there's this pasta bar. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
So they exclusively serve pasta dishes. And the moment you finish that bowl of noodles, you're done. Go. Next seating, come in. Go. Next seating, come in. Go. So it's not so much about like a Michelin star restaurant, at max maybe 2 seatings for maybe 26 packs. But they have, say, 50 packs and have 4 seatings in one night. So it's about how smart we can work with this overbooking as a strategy to manage the amount of seatings we have. Right? Because for food, we can only stomach a certain amount. There's no way we can whack so much in terms of quantity. So in a way, it's either increase the volume of customers or increase the price point of each dish. Right? So in a way, they manage to retain their customers without charging more and gather more customers. So I feel like that's one of the smartest concept I ever seen. And talking about show kitchen, Wok Hey, the other day I went to Ang Mo Kio Hub with my family. We went to eat dinner. So one of my brothers didn't go along. So we ordered Wok Hey for him. And we saw the queue number. We are like 20, 30 people behind the current queue number. So I was thinking in my own way, how can we make this quicker without cutting queue? So this is what I did. So I stood outside the show kitchen, and every time they finish cooking one serving, I would clap my hands and cheer them on. And then they'll look at you, they'll laugh, then they ask which number, then you show them, then they say, okay, wait, it's going to be very quick. Then continue cooking again, finish it again, then I'll be cheering, ooh. Then I got my family to just cheer together. So you make their day also, and then they're happier and then they serve you faster as well.
Having your own source of entertainment as well.
I mean, for them, it's tiring, right? They're on the quality the whole day, just churning orders. So we just find a way to make their day better.
Then what do you think about those businesses, right? Or even fried rice or this, right? Something that is so staple to go into those automated arm. What do you think about it?
Okay, so if you have robots cooking, you aren't able to monitor the situation of the food real time. For example, if you are using a quali, right, you want the chart flavor to it and the smell.
The wok hei.
But the wok hei is the amazing thing. And if you put it in the rotating cooker, we don't necessarily be able to meet. Some grains could be thicker, some grains could be smaller. It's so micro detailed. I mean, I'm no expert, but I can imagine some of the vegetables could be cut thicker, some should be cut thinner. Meat portions are not regular. So if you don't have a live person there creating the wok hei, I don't think a machine can have that kind of consistency as well. So possibly some dishes cannot be replaced with robotic cooking, right? In terms of drinks as well, different drinks have different viscosity. So you can't have a general machine that dispenses this much juice, this much of soda and garnish. Because can you imagine the machine just like, there's no showmanship to these things.
Sometimes it's the experience.
Yeah.
Like
So,
having a bartender.
Correct. So if they're like, if I'm paying for a robot to do my things, why am I paying so much? Then it goes against the principles of running a profitable business, I feel.
But then in this case, because if let's say, for example, like you mentioned in your wok hei,
Right.
where you have 20, 30 over people in line. So unless we are able to produce more automated arms, more robots to cook for you, first of all, I think wouldn't it make sense, right? Yes, you end up won't have the wok hei, but if your business is to push for quantity, then having more robotic arms and just having maybe say 2 people to supervise, let's say 6 robot arms, would that be able to bring down the cost? But most importantly, you serve more customers within a shorter period of time.
100%. But we look at it in terms of quality control. Do you have it? If all dishes that comes from those 6 robots do not turn out the same, where's the consistency in that?
But I bring down the price.
You bring down the price, But there are people who are picky eaters. Like if I have, say, $8 to spend for a meal, right? I would pick something nice to eat. I wouldn't pick something that is average just to fill the tummy. I'm not saying everyone is like that, but there is that market segment that we cannot ignore also.
Yeah, but if let's say, like we mentioned earlier on, where in the morning, right, yeah, people just want to have a quick and cheap bite, or they just want to tapao something that is cheap, right? To say, for example, they work at CBD area, everything around there is expensive nowadays. Even if let's say for me, right, yeah, especially when I'm busy with work, one is sometimes either I don't eat at all, or second is I just want something quick to fill my tummy, and then that's it. So yes, there will be a portion of consumers where they will say, if I'm going to pay a certain amount, I might as well go maybe a hawker center, maybe pay extra $2 to go for your char kway teow, that kind of thing.
That's right.
But there will also be a certain group of people, especially a certain time frame. Maybe say that at a certain time frame, right, you cater towards a cheaper rate, but you serve a lot more people. Would that during that period of time, right, bring up your profit margin?
Okay, so when we look at serving things that are cheap and quick, if I am your competitor, I see, hey, this location, wow, steady, a lot of clients, cheap and quick. That's what they want. So I open up next to you. I serve something cheaper and quicker. So what kind of battle does that become after that?
Zero faster and cheaper.
So who faster and cheaper? So would it safe to say that you might end up selling your robots to keep the rental up? Because the pool of customers are still fixed, nonetheless. So how are we going to deal with that? We have to ask ourselves. So competition is also a problem. You are neighbors. And when we go to places that have F&B, most of the time there are many, many options nearby. Why would they pick you? If the queue is too long also, cancel my order and move to someone else. So it's more than just how much we can serve our customers, and rather what is our competitive strength in the environment. Yeah. So a lot of clients, they ask, hey, how much budget should we prepare if we want to set up this food? It could be a cafe, restaurant, kiosk, bar. Generally, I will tell them, prepare at least from $150 per square foot. This more than enough. This is covers more than enough for the back of house and also the front.
Average lah.
On average. Then if you want something beautiful, you can raise that budget onwards lah, maybe up to 250. Right. So you have, like for example, I did a kiosk in Marina Bay area. Maybe 400-ish square feet, 450 lah, we call it. So we did around 78. But people argue like, hey, why do I have to spend so much? But they are looking at maybe Mr. Bean. Their kiosk looks very generic. Why need so much? But we put in things like lighted glass blocks. We do lime wash. We do fluted panels. We do stretch ceilings. Then we have they make us do this air cleaner as well. So we make the place look so aesthetically pleasing. And she's selling street food. So if I could go to the street and buy this for $2, how can we, as her designers, help her sell it at 7? Sorry, starting from 7. She's selling more than that. In fact, you add this, become $9, $10. And then add on a drink, add on another $3, $4. So that's why I always say the environment is very important, because people will pay for the experience. They will pay for the environment. And the more people take photos of your unit, right, the better it is. And rather than just being that, oh, that street food stall along the walkway. No. They remember your brand. It is so and so. Here, go there. B103. Go. Yeah. So this is why I always tell people, don't scream on budget, because you start a business not because of what you have budgeted to start the business, or you budget actually for your business model, for the clientele, for the location, for your growth. Don't tell yourself, hey, actually, I only have $2,000. Then I go to some maybe outskirts, but you lose the footfall. Yeah, so make sure you budget enough for your big plans.
I think even for budgeting, one of the consideration is also a very simple thing like your carrier. Like say for example, Lego or this it's always the packaging that you see other people buy. Just whether is it the way the handle was done differently, right? Yeah, it is a form of a walking advertisement as well. So a lot of times our branding and marketing may not always just be within the brick and mortar store, or even say for example your digital space, but how you package your product, what kind of packaging you put it in, what's your design of the packaging, all these are taken into account with your budgeting. All this will definitely play a part in how your existing consumers buy it and then they walk around. That's your free advertising.
We spoke about it before, right? One of the gyms, they're giving out free t-shirt. Then everyone wear the shirt, they'll be like, oh, this gym is very popular, very popular.
Yeah, like see, like for example, last time our lecturer always say, like, you see, even like say for example, big brands, right? Like Ferrari, this kind of luxurious brand, right? They also sell t-shirts. So by consumers, I mean, not many people can all is willing to go and buy.
Yeah, you don't have
Say
the
for
car,
example,
then why would you buy
the
the shirt,
car,
right?
correct. But then again, right, if let's say for example, most people we cannot afford the Ferrari, the supercar itself. By wearing the t-shirt, right, you are being part of the brand identity, even though you don't have the car itself. So there are many times, even though we don't purchase the original product that they are actually selling for, right? Yeah. By having the t-shirt, right, you definitely still feel part of the product, part of the brand. So that's why people are selling merch and stuff like that to
Create a connection to
yeah,
the creator.
correct. Having that connection to the brand. So all these are all part of brand marketing, brand identity.
I want to bring you back to a story of mine also, of this accountant who had some savings. So he wanted to do a salad store in Imperial Mall. So Imperial Mall is known for rock climbing, gym, Thai food now, right?
Yes. For me, that's the only.
And the weekend flea markets.
Mm.
But back then, this was way before COVID. It was a new mall, I think, rather new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So he came to me, asked me, hey, can you D&B my store? So we came up with a design concept for him. It was amazing. So in the center of the store, it's a screen with a shelf where we put papers and pencils so you can take what you want. Then you go to the right, you give him the paper, you go across the screen to the front, make a payment and just collect. And we designed a nice back wall to separate his preparation area and storage from the service area. We presented the budget to him. Okay, that store, that kiosk didn't cost 150 lah, right? It probably was 75 or 80. And then even for him, he said, it's a bit too much for me lah, right? So he didn't engage us in the end. Well, after we went down, after his completion, we went down maybe 2-3 months later. He had this generic, like ice cream display. But instead of the ice cream, we had like vegetables and condiments.
Like Subway.
So a bit like a Subway, but it's the very old design kind of display stand. And he had a very generic movable counter. I think it was I don't think it's IKEA lah, but it was one of those very modular, very basic white counter that he put his POS machine on top. And he didn't even segregate the back of house to the front, which I believe now is a SFA issue already. You can't have a see-through. So he didn't have the back wall. And he didn't even hang any ceiling lights. So it was fluorescent tubes fixed on the both sides of the wall. So 4 sets. So from far away, when you look in, it's very dark.
Like a
It's
back
a
of
dark
house store.
space, dark, very, very dark. Like, butcher, not even a butcher shop. Like, it's just, you can see from far, it's just a shadow behind the store. Yeah, but he had customers. I know, I don't disagree that there's a demand for what he has over there. But you need to ask yourself, would you just be that salad store in Apira Mall? Or do you want your brand to be something that people remember? Like, hey, go to Salad Man in Apira, having promotion and all that. And you think about it, if I was your competitor, I open up a salad store right beside you. I put a bit more money in my branding. I do out the design nicely. Do you think you'll go out of business very quickly? Right? So that's why clients should not scream on budget. Your business is your hard-earned money that you saved and you made, and it will help you make more. So cannot scream.
I think there's a similar concept that I want to bring up also. The old Cathay, there used to be this sushi place downstairs, Maki-san. So it's also the same general concept where the showcase kitchen, where you get to see all the whole procedure of your food. It's generally very simple concept, similar to Subway or this, but this one is in a sushi form. But one thing that I would say they did very well, right, is the branding. First of all, branding, and secondly is, I think, giving that. One thing good about Showcase Kitchen, right, is giving your consumer, your client, right, the variety of choices to let them be spoiled for choice. So like what you say, right, don't scheme on your branding or this budgeting or this, right, just to be able to open the store. I mean, we should always see something that is a little bit more long run. For Maki-san, they did their branding really very, very well. Yeah, before that, because it's also the artsy area where you have your Sota, Nafa, LaSalle there. Naturally, you will bring in the young demographic. Yeah. So I think that's one old eatery that we can all actually learn from in terms of branding. How you target a certain group of demographic. Yeah, I think that's something we can.
And the logo is cute as well.
Yeah.
It's a smiley face sushi. Yeah. They have nice packaging.
Yes.
You look at it, the box where they opened it this way, right? It's orange color, blue color, quite cute.
Now I think they changed already. Oh no, I think they changed. I very long never eat already, but when it first came out at that time, yes, it was very, very hot. I think it was maybe poly time.
Yeah, something like client wise, like if they
like what are the things they look out for? Or should we talk about, like, let's say
smart, what you should look out for? Yes.
Like, let's say whether is it the demographic there, the size of the space, or whether you want to target what kind of demographic also, like morning crowd, lunch crowd, or night. Like, say for example, timber or this, even though it's very far out, but because it's in the industrial area, so they are able to convert when a certain time hits.
I got no expertise. When you talk, I'm thinking what else already.
Yeah. If not, just talk about what are the things that clients should look out for. in terms of finding the property.
Okay. So when we
Can you put it in?
okay, so here's what to look out for when you are looking for a new space. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the camera. So here's what to look out for when you're looking for a new space for your F&B. Whatever you pay for rental is your marketing. So you have to choose a correct location with the appropriate footfall. But you also need to know your competitors. You cannot be opening up a coffee shop or coffee store right beside four others. Right? It just dilutes the customer base by another factor of one. So that's horrible. So think about it first as a business person. Maximize meal times, like we said. If you can get rid of the amount of downtime your staff need to operate, then good, right? Repeat customer loyalty and few sittings or few orders per person. You know, make it easy to do a group carry away if you're in a very busy area like town, where there are offices and other big companies. Yeah, those are very important. Make sure your brand collaterals are all good. If you can do a show kitchen, I feel like that's one of the best concepts that we could do. Don't scheme on branding. Make sure your logo is big, bright, dynamic. People like it. Nowadays, we have this, what they call the term Wang Hong. So it has to be Instagrammable, right? We call it that. So the lot of requests that we get these days is, I need a photo wall. Right? I cannot count with one hand anymore already, you know, not even two. How many times clients come to us, we need something that we can have people take photo and share off, right?
I think all this in terms of the Instagrammable walls, they are all, I would categorize it as something secondary. I think for, like you mentioned, our consideration for looking at the location that you want to open up your store, I think goes all the way back to first of all, what's the product that you're trying to sell? What's the brand identity that you're trying to portray? And then what's the demographic? Say, just now we also mentioned, like, if you want to target morning peak hour crowd, then the things that you're selling, first of all, has to be pre-packed. Or even a coffee, right? Yeah, any coffee that should be available within few minutes, within 1 to 2 minutes itself, then sure away the consumer take and go. And then most importantly is also, once you have the identity, what is the location that you are trying to get? Don't talk about the rental first, because you may actually earn more given the right location, even though the rental is relatively higher. Like say for example, MRT downstairs. Maybe say for example, Ang Mo Kio or even Bishan interchange. It's an interchange itself. So you will have a lot of people crossing no matter at what hours of the day. So how are you able to have your store at this kind of location, or if you want even industrial areas, right? Industrial area, we all know that it's only relatively profitable around lunch, and then after that your nighttime, evening time, where people just tap out or they eat before they go home. But there are cases where industrial areas, right, once it hits a certain time, they convert their business. So maybe in the day, right, yeah, you sell cai fan, but then after when it comes to nighttime, right, it is being converted into a drinking place. I mean, whether it's able to pass SFA, because you technically need 2 licensing. So how are you going to convert? Yeah, that is something to consider as well. But basically, in summary, is your location, your demographic, and your brand identity, right? All these must be set in stone, right, before you actually choose the right location that you want to set your brick and mortar store in.
So to our viewers, there's a tip also. If you follow those Indian food stores, during tea time, they have samosa and tea. So 3 p.m. is like the universal tea break. Yeah, the Indian food stores do it very well. Yeah. And talking about MRT is Ananas Cafe lah.
Yeah. I wanted to
$2
bring it up
nasi
also,
lemak.
right?
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like even
It used
though...
to be called Red House. Right?
Was it?
Red Dot or something.
Huh?
Ananas Cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up Ananas Cafe also because I mean we all know how oily and unhealthy it was, but a lot of people still get it, right? First of all, because it's affordable. Second is the locations that they choose, right? Are usually very good locations. MRT downstairs. Just outside of malls where people don't want to spend
Right.
the cost itself in the mall. Yeah, just grab it. Hey, Ananas, or even Ananas for us is like maybe say secondary school times, right?
Yeah.
We don't have much money.
Yes.
Just straight away get one bihun or kway teow, right? Yeah, with like one sausage, one luncheon meat, right? $2 settle.
Yes. So knowing the right offerings for the right crowd. Okay. So on the technical side of things, F&B owners, please remember, if you're doing an open fire kitchen, you need your exhaust hood, you need your fire protection. So you need your licensed electrical worker, you need your licensed plumber, you need SFA.
Yes.
So there are a lot of requirements.